Alright, here we are taking on the Legacy Cube. A little different than what we normally do here, but I happen to love the Legacy Cube, so I thought I'd give it a chance on recording. So, I typically like to go either blue-white or blue-black control or green ramp. We have some excellent cards here for both options. We have Condescend, Snapcaster, Elspeth, and Hallowed Fountain for the more controlling options. Those are the ones I would look at. I would probably be most interested in Snapcaster out of those. Or we can go the green ramp with the Cultivate, and I think that gets fought over less than the blue based control decks do. So that's what I'm going to go with. And now we have some more excellent blue cards, so and no good green cards really. So that may not have been the best option. Earthen Pot is obviously an excellent card, but I think it's very hard to build a limited deck that really takes advantage of that in the way you want to take advantage of that. Green Blue is an option. It's not my favorite, but with Cultivate's so good. So I think we're going to take Ancestral Vision. It's an excellent draw spell, especially early, if you can play it early. Suspend it early, I guess I should say. And one of the best cards in Green Blue is Shardless Agent, and cascading from a Shardless Agent into Ancestral Vision is one of the best moments you can possibly have playing Magic, in my opinion. Alright, so here we've got some good choices. Deep Analysis is an excellent draw spell. As is Harmonize. We've got that Thragtusk there that's looking great. If we want to be speculative, we can take the Emrakul and hope we get the cards that make that work. Which I think is what we want to do. I mean, if you get an Emrakul out, you just win the game. So we're going to look for that. And we're going to be looking for cards like Summoning Trap and Tooth and Nail to make that really excellent. Although with the right ramp spells, you can hardcast it in this cube. So Master the Wild Hunt, Primal Command, and Trade Reminders are really only cards in the colors we're looking at so far. Obviously it's early, our colors can change, but I think at this point we still want to try to stick to them. And I think of those, Master the Wild Hunt is the strongest. I mean, it's an army in a can, and the tap ability is a removal spell basically in colors that don't get very many removal spells. So I think we're going to go with that. You know, one of the things about the new Legacy Cube is that they nerfed red a bit. So it tends to be underdrafted. So we could forget Ancestral Vision and go on more of a green-red ramp, which does offer us some interesting options down the road, such as cards we want to look out for, like Xenagos. And we have Bloodblade Elf there, which is excellent. But I don't think we're ready to do that yet, so we're going to get a regrowth. Although Bloodbraid Elf was also a fantastic option. We're going to grab the ramp spell here. It's a little unfortunate that these two are in the same pack, because if you get both of them, you can really attack someone's mana base. Troll Static is a bad Thrun. I don't think that's really what we want at this point. That would be our best option, though. I think it's between that and Searing Spear. If we want to try to go Teamer, maybe we pick up that. Maybe that's what we want to do. So we have Tarmogoyf, which is excellent. Misty Rainforest, which is obviously pretty solid fixing. I mean, at this point, we're looking fairly mono green, but we have some great ways to fix. Still, I mean, drawing 3 cards is always very nice, but I just think Tarmogoyf is powerful enough. I think it gets discounted a lot in limited formats where you're not dumping stuff in the graveyard as quickly, but I still think it's very powerful. Boon Satyr, I think, is just the pick here. There is a Nykthos in this cube, so having the double green there is a benefit. Yeah, pretty sure that's what we want here. Still not sure we want to go red. Double red is not the way we want to go red. And most of the cards that are scary in this cube are more than 2 power, most of the creatures, so I don't think that's what we want. Koth, really only good in a mono red, I think. Ash Cloud Phoenix can be excellent. I don't think we're going to play it, but alright, so we don't really want any of these. I think the possibilities of what someone can do with that are the scariest, so we'll take that. Hypnotic Spectre, I think, is the scariest of those. So yeah, like I said, red gets underdrafted. So maybe we are playing red. That's not a scary card at all, so maybe we can deprive someone of some mana fixing. Tectonic Edge. If we end up 3 colors, we're probably not playing that. If we are green-red, if we have enough ramp spells that we can afford to have a land that we're trying to sacrifice, we might try that. Okay. Well, this is making me want to go blue again. If I'm even faintly going blue, Consecrated Sphinx is just so good. Explorer is really not the kind of ramp spell I'm looking for. Acidic Slime can be fantastic, but there's actually a decent chance that wheels. If we can pick up a dual land or a shock land, that's very good, but Consecrated Sphinx is such a beating. Take the ramp spell and mana fixing. It's a double duty right there. Obstinate Valve is a great card, but I think we're sticking with the ramp. Fortunately, we don't really have the cards this point really that we're looking to ramp into besides Emrakul, but you really do need a way to cheat that in, even with a lot of ramp. You need some incredible ramp to cast that, and it's not looking like we're getting there at this point. I love that card. I think just the straight ramp spell is probably better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have 3 cards when this pack comes around. What are our chances of wheeling one of those two versus our chances of wheeling this? I think someone else is drafting green ramp. We're not seeing all the cards we're looking for. I think this is better though. I think the guaranteed ramp here versus potential shenanigans there, and the fixing, which this also kind of gives us. Again, potential shenanigans versus guaranteed ramp. I think we have to go with the guaranteed ramp, especially as one, since all we have at 1 drop, since all we have right now is the Arbor Elf. So it looks like we're getting more and more firmly green, which is not surprising. And I think our blue spells are better than our red spells, so I don't think we're going Teamer. So there's Verdict Catacombs, try to get a dual land, or there's Court of Calling. Here, since we don't have the dual land, and it's not a Misty, I think Court of Calling is better. Well, that is the way that you can potentially get to hardcast Emrakul. Rathalos or Rathalos, however you pronounce it, can provide incredible amounts of mana. We are still trying to find some more things to do with that incredible mana, but I think that's still the way we want to be going. It's worth noting that we are getting a little heavy at our 2 spot there. Oh, Tooth and Nail, perfect. Now we want to find another big creature or two to get with Tooth and Nail. I mean, Tooth and Nailing out a Consecrated Sphinx Emrakul. Still pretty excellent, but better have some options. Alright, we'll take Explorer. If we end up ditching blue and going mono green, Explorer can be good. Well, see what I said about red being underdrafted? Of these, the scariest one for us to play against is either Hero or Riders. Right now we don't have any of the lands that are making Riders really scary, but we could still pick up a Nykthos or a Gaia's Cradle, so I think we're going to take that. We'll take that Obstinate Baloth. guess we'll take Sinkhole. Oh, that was the pack we were hoping Misty or Zenith came around from. They didn't. That's too bad. But Genesis Wave is good. So we have two excellent choices here with Beast Within and Pelucranos. Again, green and blue don't have hard removal. Beast Within is hard removal. It can deal with anything but something. Hexproof, they're indestructible, which is pretty much anything we care about. Pelucranos can crush creature decks, though. I guess Mystic Snake is also a reasonable option. I don't think that's really what we're looking for. Especially because there's a chance our blue is a very light splash, and that's asking for a little bit more blue. I think combination removal and threat makes Pelucranos better. There's the Gaia's Cradle. Blue-green cards are being picked up, so I doubt that Wheels, especially, is the only other. Not the only other green card, not the only other blue card. We're gonna take the Gaia's Cradle because that almost certainly won't wheel, because someone else is definitely drafting a green ramp deck. Now we're glad we took the Avalanche Riders. We don't want to play against that if we're playing Gaia's Cradle. I mean, cheap creatures that we'll work with. And then you get something like that, which is just cranking out creatures. We'll definitely be taking Primeval Titan from this pack. I mean, that's just the perfect card for us. Natural Order only gets green creatures, right? Yeah, so that doesn't get us Emrakul, and we already have Tooth and Nail, so we're not super interested in that. Forbid is probably higher blue than we want to begin with, but then if you have a Consecrated Sphinx out with Forbid, you just shut your opponent out of the game pretty much. And there's nothing else here all that exciting, so we're going to take that. It may not get played. Unless we pick up better Fixin' than we've got right now, because we're really probably not playing either of those, and that's not Fixin', that's just ramp. I mean, I guess we do have Sylvan Caryatid and Sakura Tribe Elder. Here's another Elder. Since nothing else here is really what we want at all, and this is an excellent card, that will definitely be our pick. This combined with this make this better, because you will end up with extra lands in hand likely from those cards. Yeah, the pick here is definitely Woodfall Primus. As a removal spell for troublesome permanents, gets pulled in off that. Shardless Agent. Now let's see, do we pick up anything we don't want to cascade into? Maybe Regrowth if it's early in the game. keep saying we want to be as light blue as possible, and I keep picking up blue cards. I do think this is better than Forbid, though. Yeah, we'll take that. And reason why these are going to end up being better, if we have that now, these are better than the Green Sun Zenith, which could be cascaded into, but these have converted mana cost of 3, and Charlotte's Agent misses them. I don't think we want Fauna Shaman. I mean, we're not trying to reanimate anything, so putting things around graveyards is not really what we want to be doing, I don't think. So we're going to take the Nature's Lore. Oh, and Beast Within Wield. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to make cuts. I don't think we're playing Beast Within. Doomsayer's playing more aggressive strategy than we're really looking for. Came back to. Oof. We have some tough cuts to make. Garrett can actually be very good. We have some tough choices to make. That's probably oh boy. While these are some of my favorite blue cards in the cube, there's something to be said for just cutting blue. It'll make this better, it'll make this better. Just smooth out our draws. I think that's just what we're going to do. I don't think Harrow, because we're already taking a bunch of. So the benefit of Harrow over some other ramp spells is that it takes 2 lands out of your deck and thins your deck a bit more. But we already have Primeval Titan doing that. Yavimaya, Cultivate, and this has to sack a land. So I think this is the weakest ramp spell. And we don't need it for the fixing. Kamigoy is probably more aggressive than we want to be, but that's a great card if we're facing an aggressive opponent. Now we're down to 22 with 18 lands. We ended up with Rofellos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it's not really ramp. 7, 8 ramp spells. We are within the possibility of hard casting Emrakul. So I think this is going to be our setup here at 17 forests. And I'll see you for round 1.